Welcome back to the studio. I'm drinking an $11.99 coconut water. It's so good, but as the day has gone on, I'm like, I will never buy that again. But we're here, gonna flip through the oil painting sketchbook. I've never actually had one of these. I'm so happy that I started this. An amazing viewer of my channel sent me this hand-bound oil painting sketchbook, and I get so many questions about it. It's hand-bound, and the paper is very thick, 300 gram or microgram or whatever it's called paper, so it's very thick. I prime it with a couple coats of gesso, and it's heavy duty enough to paint on, so it's wonderful. It's not as complicated as people think, but this is the first time I've really taken like a sketchbook very seriously with painting, you know, oil painting, which kind of takes a while to dry, but I got this really close to my birthday in 2021. So we're just gonna flip through it. I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna give myself like individual little critiques, also answer some questions that I posted on my story on Instagram. So let's dive in. But first we have to hear a word from the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different classes ranging from all sorts of creative and entrepreneurial genres. I've been using Skillshare for well over 4 years now and have certainly gone through at least 10 different classes. I think why Skillshare is so impactful is because of the different instructors they use. Most of them are leading professionals within their field, and it's just, you know, of the highest quality. I've been watching Jazza on YouTube for years, and I was extremely unbelievably excited when his class came out on Skillshare, Mastering Illustration. It's a wonderful class, front to back, learning sort of the fundamentals of color theory and illustration. Content creation is something also I do a lot of within my business, and I've learned so much filmmaking techniques and skills through Skillshare's classes on lighting and video editing. You know, whether you're just starting a creative passion or you're an industry professional, there's classes for every type of person on Skillshare, and there's also new classes added every single week, so there's always something new to discover. Skillshare is great. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The first 1,000 people who click the link in the video description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. It's awesome. Let's get back to the sketchbook. The cool thing is this is about 30 pages, and I only have done 15 because it's basically halfway, and flipping through 30 paintings is a lot. So half now, and then I'll finish it, and we'll do another review when it's done. So the first painting I did, the day I got it, there's a video on it. Videos almost on every one of these is your boy Yoda, and this was really great. You know, I don't paint fantastical things in oil paint often, and so this was kind of the first thing. Yoda, you know, there's photorealistic pictures from the movies and online. This was just a screenshot, and you know, from far away, I think it looks great. The color, very painterly strokes, but you know, it's kind of sloppy with the eyes, but I'm happy with this. You know, it was a really wonderful painting to kind of approach because of the differences in lights here and the shadows and the shapes of shadows, so it's really great. Maybe I'll do a more rendered one as time goes on. And also a big theme of this whole sketchbook is sketch, and I know that's counterintuitive to kind of think of painting as sketches, but these are totally the same idea, so they're just ideas, quick. I don't think I go over really 3 hours in these. It's usually 2 to 3 hour sessions, and this is also pretty much the place where I stream on Patreon, live paint. So this whole kind of system is for the live streaming, and it's great to talk to people, walk people through, just hang out on the Discord, on Patreon, and I do that, you know, almost every week, so it's really great. You should check that out. Almost everyone in here I painted on during live streaming, so it's really epic. Skid Jelly, which atelier did you attend and how much did it differ from art school? So I went to the Artist Students League. All you do is paint and draw for models. There's really a bunch of foundation and technique built into the curriculum of ateliers. You're just learning fundamentals and how to represent reality. Was there for 7 months, learned a bunch of skills, a lot of it that I'm trying to maintain. A lot of my practice, painting and drawing practice, is informed by this atelier curriculum. I went to Parsons also for 1 semester, and I left it because there was no drawing or painting. That's what I wanted to do. So it's just, you got to figure out what you want to do. This is, I could tell I used kind of smaller painter strokes with tiles, and it turned out fine. I mean, it's nothing crazy. I think I've certainly improved, and that's something cool flipping through these. I mean, this was over a year ago, and I've painted a lot more since then. I didn't paint much when I moved to this studio because I was busy building it and all the other stuff, but I think I've gotten a lot better actually at portraiture, and I'm really excited to say that. May, 90 minutes really quick, but I actually really like this one because it's a lot looser. The colors are kind of drab, and I get into these issues of getting kind of chalky in the lights where I'm just using too much white and it's kind of gray. The whole portrait loses its saturation, and something I've been working on is making those shadows more colorful, higher chroma shadows, warm shadows, and that's actually an exact part in my painting that's gotten a lot better, sort of my use of color. But this is good, this is cool. Eyes closed, open, a little sloppy, but 90 minutes, really money. I remember this one, Marie Gabrielle Capet. It's her self-portrait from 1783. It's a beautiful painting. And a lot of this reference I get for the live streaming painting sessions are things I'll see in movies and TV shows, or photos I take myself specifically for painting reference, but also random other painters, amazing paintings that I want to replicate. So this is like a master copy. And I think it turned out great. The flesh, the skin tones, all this color, this green, rosy red, but also kind of porcelain white skin. The only thing is the eyes are a little too big and a little too close together, and it's a little wonky, but it was a cool experience. And again, I was using a smaller paintbrush you could see in these strokes where I usually try to stay loose. This was really fun, I remember this, and I was pretty happy with this. And I'm very bullish about archiving everything, how long it takes, when did you make it, date, everything. I'm very neurotic about that. Let's go to another question while we look at Mr. Charles Dickens. Shannon Vaught Art, she's an amazing painter. We've become friends recently over the internet. What would you paint if you could never sell it and or even show it to anyone? Would it be different? Great question, and I can honestly say no, because my position now with making content online and making money through advertisements and sponsorships, I paint exactly what I want. Granted, I want people to like my art, of course, let's not be naive. I want people to like it and see it, but I'm painting exactly what I want to paint, and I'm very lucky to be in that position now, because that's not for everyone. And before, for me, I had to do commissions. I had to paint people's dogs and family portraits and things to make money. Now I just paint what I want. This specifically, the sketchbook is for like sketching and practicing, but the bigger paintings I do crazy mythological paintings and weird, wacky self-portraits, and so I think I would continue to do that. And so that's a great question. This was a portrait in a book I had by Charles Dickens. I found it on the ground, and there was a black and white image of him. I think I'm overlaying some of the videos that I've uploaded to show you the time lapse, 2 hours. This one is really not great, I'm gonna be honest. If you turn this to black and white, it would be fine. It looks like Charles Dickens, but these colors, I remember trying to experiment, but this like gray, red, pink skin with the like purpley red hair and all the gray background, the color harmony is just so off. I mean, it's stylized in that way with some of the yellow light, but it's really not great, but it's also just a 2-hour sketch, so it is what it is. Self-portrait, 2 hours. Really like this one. I think it doesn't really look like me, but I like how soft it is, and also the contrast is kind of compressed. The lightest lights and darkest darks aren't far away, and I don't paint like that often. I actually tend to go very bright and very dark, I think, because, I don't know, maybe I can't help it, but the lightest light and the darkest dark aren't far away from each other on the value scale, and it's soft. The shadow sides are kind of less opaque and transparent, which I like. The hair is cool. The neck, it all seems kind of congealed nicely. I'm looking to the side. I definitely like this. This is 8/8, so that's August. Wait, dig that. This is a quick one. This is actually the only pencil sketch in this whole sketchbook. This was to prep for a commission I did actually of a dog. We were just talking about it. I don't take commissions very often, only if the price is right or if it's for some sort of family friend or someone who did me a favor. I'll definitely gift them and do some commissions. But this was actually a great painting. Hopefully we'll be showing it on the screen. This was just a little sketch. And then this is Catherine. This is a fellow YouTuber. Shout out Catherine Karas. She's an amazing journaler and lifestyle vlogging, and she used to do a lot of booktubes, which is awesome. This I really like. It's kind of cartoony, very soft, and this was an amazing photo shoot I did at the studio to do another painting. Can you see it back there? And I got a lot of wonderful reference during that photo shoot, which I love. I love taking my own photos, and I actually give those photos away a lot on the Patreon also for other people to draw and paint. So this is great, really love this. Intense, dramatic, creative blue light, 2 hours. This is the turn of the year, January. And then this is, I had Ken Goshen on my podcast, and he did some painting demo of me, 2 portraits actually you could see right back here also. And at the end, he, gave me some of his colors as like a palette reference, which is kind of cool. This is like a cool memory, but this is a great little spread right here. And then one of my favorite portraits probably in this whole thing, Mr. Geralt of Rivia, The Witcher. Beautiful. 2 hours. I remember this specifically on the live stream, and I started very loose, blocking in just shapes. I didn't do an outline for this, which I do often. And just, this is a screenshot straight from the show, I think season 2 of Witcher, which I love, and it's just great. I mean, it is still sloppy. It's not super refined or rendered, but it's, I think it's great. I truly do love that. And then this is a boom, double spread of more fantasy stuff, pop culture I like. Witcher, and we got Brad Pitt from Troy, and Evangeline Lilly, the elf Tauriel from The Hobbit. And before I talk about these more, let's get another question, because there was another one about, oh, here's a quick one. How do you feel about people getting your tattoos on them? I've said this before, I'll say it again. I love it, do it. I mean, it's not really copying art, but I'd love to have my art on other people. I don't care. I think it's awesome. Just send me a photo. That's the only thing I do say. Send me a photo if you get any of my work tattooed on you. And there was another one I wanted to answer. Here it is, Matt Davies. What advice can you give about turning your creative passion into a business? That's a great question, and it's too long of an answer, but basically you need to develop skills within your art craft, painting, drawing, singing, writing. Develop skills, but then also you have to develop skills into making content. I think in this day and age, everyone should be on the internet. If you're an artist, visual artist, you need to learn how to make content and consistently put out videos and things for people to see, because being a gallery artist in this day and age is possible, obviously, and if that's the route you want to do, but it's more accessible to do it from your home, to be a nobody from any state, any country in the world, and put out things for millions of people to see on the internet. So if you could develop those skills, you got to do it for a long time, get better, improve while improving your skills, and continue to push it, and hopefully people will take notice, and then opportunities will come to make an income. That's a rant short. But so this painting of Brad Pitt started off really bad. I thought it was an awesome shot. It's an intense daylight shot of his face with the light. And I started by making his forehead too small, I remember, and all the features were messed up. So that's why I elongated it, and his head kind of almost goes through the border. But I think I saved it a little. Not the best. This portrait of Evangeline Lilly, who I love, she was Kate in Lost, one of my favorite shows, I think is really good. Again, with the color, it's a little drab and gray. I mean, we got some rosy red cheeks, but the skin, I lose this chromatic sense to it, but that only makes this green, elvish robe pop more. But I think, it is more rendered than a lot of these. I think it looks exactly like her. The eyes are subtle and nice, her hair. Ears, man, ears are my worst. And I'll go on a tangent about my ears, but I really, really love this. And this is just a double smacker page. And you're asking why I don't usually do double, because maybe one day in the future I will want to either sell these or show them at a show. And if there's two, I can't cut it out because I would have to choose one or the other. So for most of them, it's just one page. So if I ever need to cut it out, it's just on one. This is one of my other favorites in this sketchbook so far, of the 15 or 16. This is The Young Girl Wearing a White Muslin Blouse by John Singer Sargent, a master copy. Really happy with this. I said in the video and during the live stream, it looks like a more demonic, evil looking girl compared to Sargent's beautiful masterpiece, but I really love my values here, the softness of a face. Younger humans are harder to paint, I think, and I really tried to mimic the limited strokes Sargent uses to represent so much. The dark green background, I think it's great. I really, really like this. Ooh, you could see the binding. It's not separating, but it's like bound in sections. Can you see that? So when you finish a section, it gets split a lot. I don't know if that makes sense. This was for the video I recently put out where I did 5 different mediums of this same character, the same portrait. And I think this actually looked the least like the reference I used, but it's my favorite of the 5, and just oil paint as a medium is the best. And you know, I use this very cold kind of highlights with this mega warm shadows like I was talking about before, which is great in this hat. I just love this, very expressive. I love this, and I love like the border, the painterly, you know, it's not a finished piece, it's just an idea, and I love that about this sketchbook. This is really funny. I have a bunch coming out off this photo shoot and this project. I did another photo shoot of, this is Jade, dressed her up like an elf, amazing. We got amazing photos, and I have a bunch, not a bunch, 2 or 3 massive projects around this photo shoot. And I had to just do a quick sketch of one of these. This painting is not great. I think it looks a lot like her. It's very elvish and awesome, but I don't know what I was thinking with the skin tones, how orange this is. It's like not even close to being a natural skin tone. The values are fine and everything, but like, ugh. I don't know why I chose this heavy orange. It tweaks me out, but the photos I got are some of the best photos I think I've ever gotten for photo reference. Very exciting. This was 3 hours. I forgot this really important drop shadow from this strand over the eye. I wonder if it would help the painting. This very subtle piece, yeah. And then this is the last one. This is the most recent one, and this is like my favorite painting I've done in so long. And it's just a little 2-hour sketch, but it has all these elements that I love, and I'm my own biggest fan, so if I'm just ranting at myself, you take it with a grain of salt, okay? But this very Cro-Magnus, super angular, strong-faced man with this beautiful reference that I found online. And then I idealized a lot of the colors, because there's a lot of color zones, you know? Cool, greenish, 5 o'clock shadow, redder, rosy cheeks, red nose, and then more yellowish orange forehead. That's a very common painter technique, zones of the face to make it look natural and alive. But there's way more color in this than the portrait, and I think the color where I idealize it just brings it to life, and I just love it. And everything is pretty solid here. Very thick painterly strokes, which I love. Ear is just botched and disgusting and messy, but it's all there. And I toned the painting this violet, which I love, and this page is just awesome. I just love that. This was a few weeks ago, and that's it. And that's really wonderful. That's like 15 or 16, and so we got a bunch more left, which I'm really excited to do. Stream it on Patreon. Check it out. That's it. Rant. I wonder how long this video is going to be. Stay tuned. Got some exciting stuff. I say that every time, but it's true. See you in the next video.